ramble while I ramble? Let's look and see if anybody's coming. It does happen every once in a while. It's rained, so hopefully we don't get stuck in the mud. Gosh, I am not made to off-road in the Mazda. That's for darn sure. Okay, I wanted to talk about just one statement. Doggone it, that was made in the July 16th bankruptcy hearing. That really, I think it's the statement from Elizabeth Naylor, Jan Black, Owens, that inspired, that catalyzed, that instigated the most response. And that's when Attorney Giamo asked, does, when she's asking about the wording of the GoFundMe quote-unquote pitch, as Jan Black called it, and said, think that people would believe that these funds are going to help with Ron's medical bills. And I forget what question it was specifically that she was speaking to. But she says, well, he can't work. Yes, it's supposed to help with his financial struggles because he can't work. 80 years old. When is he supposed to stop working? Already as it is, as Big Tip Dog says, his pension and his Social Security brings in 75% of the income that comes in right now. We can't work and support his family, making him sound like some kind of deadbeat after he was like, a Bay Area legend for, 45, 46, 47 years. Man, that torqued my jaw. I believe that several jaws were torqued. That several gasps were flabbered. And I think that people have such a hot reaction to it. And here's the hot take part. I feel like people have a reaction to it, not because of all the empathy for Ron, but that's why it's kind of a hot take. It's because it sounds like you're having this mega empathy for Ron. But because just the idea of making an 80-year-old man who worked for almost 50 years, who is bringing in the current 75% of the income that supports a household, sound like a deadbeat is beyond rude, beyond, and it's my favorite word with these people, egregiously tone deaf, ignorant, entitled. He took care of his family. If I had a 36-year-old daughter who was capable of working, maybe I would ask the question of why isn't she working? Why has she never had a W-2? Excuse me. And then, I got a car behind me, y'all. I gotta actually drive now. I see the chat from far away, but I can't read any of it because I am driving. I'm on the dirt road with just one other person. I'm being careful. I did put my seatbelt on. All right. The other thing I want to mention before I get to the gravel, to the asphalt, is Laura on the call. When Jan swears, there's nobody in the room with us, and Attorney Giamo says, is there anybody in the room with you? And Jan says, absolutely not. And when Law Cow Lawyer, Big Tip were commenting on it, they were like, anytime anybody in the Owens family says absolutely, it's an indicator that whatever they're talking about is a lie. It's true. if you go back and look at all the hearings, any text messages, all the stuff, anytime absolutely appears, there's a lie. I mean, it's not like, you're trying to find a line. It's pretty common. But absolutely is like a buoy in the bay. Oh, don't get stuck. But you can hear on the call when Attorney Giamo is like, so this GoFundMe, the GoFundMe funds were supposed to pay down your family's debt, and you can hear her. You can hear her go, yeah, like duh. Who gets sassy with a U.S. trustee attorney? I mean, obviously nothing shocks me with this one. Oh, we're gonna get stuck. There you go, Mazda. But man, if I'm no lawyer. I'm no nobody right now. I'm a complete nobody. But if I were gonna give somebody just like random free advice, I mean, if somebody asked me, hey, would you be a sassy pants to a U.S. trustee attorney in the Department of Justice? I would say no. I would say, you know what, we probably shouldn't do all that now.